Hi, I'm Ashley,
And I'm Jesse.
and this is the Love Story Podcast. Do you know what we're talking about this time?
The Peaky Blinders.
Yes, you can't say the part that you want to say.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the
I'm
Peaky.
Arthur.
Yes,
Okay.
by order of
By
the
order of
Peaky
the Peaky Blinders.
Blinders.
And then you just
I
went and
beeped
said
it.
it. Oh, you
Yeah,
beeped
I beeped it.
the Peaky Beep and Blinders.
Yeah. So the Peaky Blinders, we watched in preseason when we were together.
Yes.
And then we have apparently forgot.
I forgot everything.
Yes, absolutely everything. Yeah. There's like little things. There's like one scene that I can remember like vividly. Vivid is maybe not the correct word. And
well, first of all, welcome to the Love Story Podcast.
Yes, welcome to the Love Story Podcast.
I'm your co-host, Jesse.
Yes, host Jesse and host Ashley.
You're so pretty.
I'll stop at you.
Okay, sorry.
So today we're going to talk about the Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
Yes.
Oh, well, just right now we're just talking about the first couple seasons.
Yes, the Peaky Blinders.
First 3 seasons.
Yes,
Yeah.
of the love stories.
No, because we're at the beginning of the 3 seasons.
Yes.
So, first 2 seasons, Peaky Blinders is a gang in...
England?
I think so.
Birmingham?
Yes, Birmingham.
Yes.
Birmingham. And,
Yes. And they go
this
to the
is going to
derby.
be great. We're going to be able to talk like this all
We're going to
the
get
time.
stuck.
It's going to be lovely.
Yep.
We should have brought some tea. Anyways.
Oh, whiskey.
It's going to be hard to not talk
know.
like that a lot. But anyways, so the Peaky Blinders is a family and a gang.
Yes, the Shelby family.
Shelby family. And they are, what do you even call, bookies? They're bookies.
Yeah.
Right? For horse
Yeah.
racing. That's their main
Source of income at the beginning.
revenue stream. Yep.
Yes. And this is post World War One.
Yes. All 3 of the brothers.
Yes, all 3 of the brothers minus baby Finn because
Yep.
he was a tiny little baby. So
Yep.
we have Arthur is the oldest, and then we have Tommy Shelby, and then we have John, and then Finn. And Ada, the sister.
Ada
She's in
is
there
the
somewhere.
sister.
Yep. And so she's a member of the Communist Party
Yep.
with Freddie Thorne.
Freddie Thorne.
Yeah.
Because he's a communist.
Yeah.
He organised
Call
strikes.
me,
And
call me back. Can we say so?
oh my gosh.
Okay, beep that.
Yeah, we don't like him.
Yeah. No, I like Freddie. I feel like Freddie is.
we don't like communists.
Okay, pull it together. The whole point of why we're talking about Peaky Blinders is number 1, we were supposed to be doing homework this week,
Yeah.
and we didn't.
You
because
dropped the ball on that.
Yep. If there's anything that anyone could say is Ashley doesn't know how to keep it on the rails and get homework
Yep.
done. So we had a lot of homework that we didn't do watching love stories because instead, I remember there was one time we were going to watch something and then we were like, God, but we just really love Peaky Blinders so
yeah,
much.
Peaky Blinders is a good show.
Yes.
But there is some love stories in
Which is why we're talking about it today.
in the show.
Yes.
So where do we start?
Well-
We start with go ahead.
I thought you were just going to leave it as a question. So, no, go ahead. You've got an idea in your mind.
Well, there's a lot of different loves in the story, in the show. The first one that comes to my mind is Tommy's love for horses.
Yep.
We don't like that.
No. Tommy does love horses.
He loves
Next.
horses.
Yes.
Horses.
Next. So, yes, Tommy loves horses. That's noteworthy. We could go chronological. The first love story. So we have Ada and Freddie.
Yep.
Is the first one. She's the sister. So she's kind of the,
Yes.
of the Shelby family.
So Freddie Thorne is an active member of the Communist Party, working in the factories to
Unionize.
unionize and cause insurrection.
Yes.
And that sort of thing. And militant.
Yes.
He's militant, for
And he
sure.
came back from the war. So he and Tommy were in the war together. So
They were best buddies since they were kids.
And so then he went off in one direction and, Tommy went off in a different direction post-war.
Was Freddie Thorne a tunneler too? I believe so. It was
he
him.
in the tunnels?
It was Tommy,
Dunny Whizbang.
Danny Whizbang,
Yeah.
and Freddie. Yeah, they were
in the tunnels together.
There's because Tommy has flashbacks
Yes.
of being in the tunnel, and then there's a
I think
fight
you're
that
right.
goes on. Yeah.
Yep, I think you're right. I think Freddie was in the tunnels. Freddie was a tunneler.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
tunnelers,
Yeah.
and that was like
And what does Winston Churchill say? He said something to the effect of like, the tunnelers, we were fighting the war above ground and they were ending it below ground or something like that.
Say it like Winston Churchill.
We were fighting the war above ground and they were ending it below ground.
We were fighting the war on the ground.
He's very jowly.
Yes.
Love stories. So
Anyways.
Freddie and Ada.
Freddie and Ada Shelby, Freddie Thorne.
Yeah,
They
she becomes
have
the thorn.
Yeah, they have a secret love affair.
And a pregnancy.
Yes.
Yeah, before they are wedded.
Yes.
They were bedded before they were wedded.
So that's the first love story. So let's dive into that. How do you feel about their love?
I think Ada was more of a, like, rebellion for her. I think Freddie began more as a rebellion, and then it became a, like, oh, she actually does like him, and then she was pregnant. What do you think?
I think it's genuine. I think
You do have love-colored glasses, though, when you look at a lot of things. You are quite a romantic.
But she also is like, she's rebellious, but she's like consistent. Like,
Yeah,
he is more important than anything else.
that's true.
Just like how he comes back. He leaves.
And they had
at
known
one
each
point.
other since they were
Yeah.
kids, too.
Yeah.
And Freddie does say at one point, he says that he's had eyes for her when she was 9 and he was 12
Yeah.
or something, and they were in love then,
Say
too.
my two
so.
favorite words.
9 and 12?
No.
Oh,
No.
what? What?
You're right.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, you were right.
Yes. Okay, my 3 favorite
Yes.
words.
Yes, you were right.
All right.
Okay, so Ada and Freddie love story doesn't last for too long. It basically, like, they get married and then he dies, I think,
Yeah,
in, like,
he
season
gets
1.
Killed.
When does he get killed? How does he die? Why
I
is
don't
this?
remember.
Why is it so forgettable?
I don't know.
It's such a good show, but it's like you watch it and you're just like consumed, and then it just is gone. How does he? We just watched this.
Oh, I know exactly how he dies. So it's later. I believe it's in, like, it's like either the first. Yes, it's the season finale of the first one. I believe
Okay.
it's the Shelbys versus not the Italians.
Lee's?
The other racehorse guy.
Billy Kimber.
Billy
Billy
Kimber.
Kimber.
Billy
Yeah.
Kimber.
Billy
So it's the
Kimber.
Shelbys and the Billy Kimbers, and they're all in the alleyway, and then
It was the Lees. It was the Kimbers and the Lees. The Lee brothers. The Lee boys.
no, because at that point the Lees are with the Shelbys.
No, because John has to marry Esme. John marries Esme, and that's the union of the Lees and the Shelbys.
Kimber. So the Lees are with the Kimbers.
The Lees are with Billy Kimber at this point because they were going to double cross. The Lees double crossed the Shelbys because they told Kimber that the Shelbys were going to double cross Kimber, and so then they joined. But then afterwards they were like, "We got to bury this hatchet." So then John gets
Holy shnikes,
sent
I
off to
don't
go
think
marry
so.
Esme.
I don't think so, but you are usually right more than I am. So
Those are my 7 favorite words. Yeah.
so they're having a standoff, and then Thorne comes out. Eddie Thorne comes out with the machine gun.
Yes.
And he's like, "Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it."
Yeah. And this is when Donnie Whizbang dies.
Danny Whizbang and Eddie. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think so.
So they're both shot. Whizbang and
Whizbang
Thorne.
dies because he had to.
It is the end of season 1.
Yes.
Because you don't. No. Nope. We're both wrong.
Okay.
We're both wrong.
Illuminate me.
Danny Whizbang dies during that standoff. Eddie Thorne,
Freddie Thorne.
Freddie Thorne dies in between season 1 and 2.
He gets
sick.
dysentery.
So
Trying to ford
thank
the
you,
river.
all of you listeners, for paying attention to the show.
The bulk of that.
That
is-
was rough.
That was super rough. And that's barely like a love story. It's just a blip. Yes,
Yeah.
he dies of dysentery. You're right. So, wow. Okay, well, she loved him. They had a kid together. They were married. She was Thorne. And then off she goes to live in her
Yes.
fancy house.
But now we're at season 2.
Yes.
But during season 1 is when we meet Grace.
Grace. Yeah.
Grace. And Tommy Shelby he is not interested in love. He's not a lover boy.
Until he sees Grace.
Once he sees Grace, he's like, "Oh my God."
That's it. He knew.
Straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the problem with Grace is that she is a spy.
Yes. She's an undercover operative.
Yes.
So,
For
which
old.
causes some complications
Yes,
in
it does.
love when you're a
And the guy from Jurassic Park. Is he
Clever
Irish?
girl.
He's Irish. Yeah, he's the
Clever
Irish guy.
girl.
He never says that in the show.
I know,
But
I wish he would.
I know.
I
It would be perfect.
Side note, the movie Anaconda, the newer Anaconda.
knew you were gonna go
love
right
that
into
Paul
this.
Rudd is dressed up like the Jurassic Park guy. He's got the blue shirt, the khakis,
the hat.
the hat with the
Bandana
red-
tied around his
red-
neck.
handkerchief around. Oh, that's hilarious. Anyways, back on track.
Back on track.
Like Abby said, 2 minutes off the rails. We're not even telling the story accurately.
I know we're not. And
So,
also,
yeah.
this is the second thing that he has been in that we've watched recently because he was also the dad in The Vow. and we growled at him. And then we growl at him too in Peaky Blinders. Yes, the Irish guy who
he does his job really well.
He's
Blinders,
very effective, but he's so hateable.
Yeah.
He's a loathsome man.
Yes, we loathe him.
Yes, and he has Grace that he has dispatched to insurrect the Shelby family.
She is a subordinate
of
his.
And she reports to him weekly, and at one point she's reporting to him because she has gotten a job now working at the garrison.
The garrison, which is the bar owned by in season 1 it's not owned by the Peaky Blinders, but eventually they say, we're buying it.
Tough titties. And so Grace gets a job there, and she's like, she sings and whatever, and
she's the
Tommy,
barmaid.
She's the barmaid, and Tommy sees her, and it was like, he saw her, and it was like, shoot, I'm in trouble. Yeah. No, he doesn't say that.
He says, oh, bollocks.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. Yeah. And so he is just moon eyes for her from the moment he sees her, basically. And then her job was to make him fall in love with her, and he made it very easy for that to happen. And
I don't know if that's her job.
Well,
because the Jurassic Park guy, can we get his name? Is such a creep towards her. I don't think
he knew her dad.
He did not. Yeah, he knew her dad, and then he ends up falling in love with her.
Sam Neill.
That's
there
what I was going to say.
Yes.
I was circling that.
He does not look like a Sam Neill.
All right.
He looks more like a Neil Samson, I would call him. Anyway, Sam Neill.
I would change his name.
If I was naming people, I would name him Neil. But Sam Neill, he is a total creep in the movie, and he was a friend with her in the show. He was a friend of her dad's, and she joined the forces because the IRA killed her dad, and so she's out to basically tear down the institution. That's why she's participating. And so she comes into the garrison to work and to infiltrate the Shelby family. Tommy falls in love with her. We see the whole time that she's a double agent, and Aunt Paul, does not like her.
No.
It's kind of this, like, at one point, Sam Neill's character is going to come and arrest Tommy Shelby.
What's his name in the show? Agent.
No, did they call him Agent?
Yeah, he's a.
Chester Campbell.
Oh, Mr. Campbell. Yeah.
Chief
yes,
Inspector.
Mr. Campbell. Right. Yeah, Mr. Campbell. Yeah, Mr. Campbell. So Mr. Campbell is a creep to Grace, and at one point he's like, well, because she says that she's like, I've done everything I set out to do. We killed the IRA.
At this point, she's fallen for Tommy, and she doesn't want to incriminate them further.
And at this point, they had killed the members of the IRA, the 2 members of the IRA. They had killed them in the garrison, and she came out. Basically, Tommy used her as like, I need you for backup, and she came out swinging. And so then after that, she was like, I've done what I needed to do. I've killed the members of the IRA.
Says that to Campbell. He's like, I want you to do more.
Well, basically, he's like, well, if you're no longer going to be a member of the
that's awesome. Keep going.
He says, if you're these are the impressions that we've been doing.
If you're no longer going to be a
member of the whatever the force or whatever, he says, then you're no longer my subordinate.
Yes.
So I'd like to ask for your hand.
I'd like to marry you.
I'd like to ask for your hand. I don't ask for love. I'm not looking for love, but perhaps we could eventually find mutual happiness. And then she's like, no.
I don't think so, Mr. Campbell.
And he's like, is there someone else?
So someone else? Do you love him?
Yes. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about, basically. And so then Mr. Campbell is like, we're going to go get the Shelby dogs. Yeah. We're going to go get him. And so then they go to infiltrate the garrison. And baby Finn is like, they're coming, Tommy. They're coming, whatever. And so then Tommy is like, I thought I had more time, because he was coming to say whatever to Grace about like.
Tommy is never like, bah.
No, you're right. Never. He's cool as a cucumber.
Like,
yes. He's like, I thought I had more time. And then Grace is like, she's like, come with me. And then they go to her apartment. And she's like, it's small, but it's home or whatever.
That's when they
make love for the first time. And Mr. Campbell and the creep in the alleyway.
Mr. Campbell sees them through the window.
Sees their shadows. I saw 2 shadows holding each other tight. I saw the truth when I look in your
yes.
eyes. I saw the light in your window tonight.
What threw me off is that your pitch and tone matches it so perfectly that I had a hard time.
That old Winona Judd. Is that Winona?
No idea.
Hide in your window tonight. I saw two shadows holding each other tight. I know the truth when I look in your eyes. So that's what he did. He was Mr. Campbell in the alleyway.
Can we
It's
just take a second? If we're talking about golden pipes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
I
saying that
love
with
listening.
zero facetiousness.
I love listening to you sing.
I love how many country songs overlay into our entire life.
There's a song I was thinking of is "That Ain't My Truck
In Her Drive.
Man, this ain't my day tonight."
Oh yeah, yes.
Can you do it in an Irish accent?
Like what
That ain't
Mr.
my
Campbell would say?
truck. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
Mr. Campbell in the
Try it.
alleyway. I would have to do
See him
Mr.
Standing on the sidewalk with a guitar. That ain't my truck. And yeah, I can't do it.
It would have to be Mr. Campbell doing this. I saw the truth when I looked in your eyes.
In your eyes.
I saw two shadows holding each other tight. I know the truth when I look in your eyes. So anyway,
That was tough.
he's in the alley and he sees two shadows holding each other tight. Yes. Yes, and he's
Okay,
like,
I'll stop.
"Thank you."
Go ahead.
And he's like, "That's it." He was like, "Oh, that sealed her. That signed her
But
letter."
it also, Grace is the only thing that saves the Shelbys, because what is it? There's something that Campbell knows could bury the Shelbys.
He sees their shadows holding each other tight, and then he's like, "Okay, that's it for Grace. I know what you've done to her," and he's basically like, "You're not the woman I thought you were." Whatever.
I think all it is was they were gonna raid the garrison, and he's like, call them out, and then the
That's
police
right.
guy, the police inspector, is like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, call it off, because Grace is there.
Yes.
Grace is involved, and
Yes,
Grace,
because Grace is
Yes.
with Tommy, and
Yeah.
it becomes apparent that she was a double agent. And she says to Tommy, she was like, I'm gonna go.
yeah. So
I
she
want you to
admits
come to
it
New York.
at this
yeah.
point, and then that's when Aunt Paul is like,
You'll never be a part of this family.
confronts her, and she's like, I know you love him, and he loves you,
But I know exactly who you
I
are.
don't like you.
Yeah,
She goes,
I know what you
She goes
are.
like this.
Yeah, and they have a lady standoff.
Yep.
And because Grace acted like she was gonna go, she like stepped to Aunt Paul, and Aunt Paul was like, "Okay, cute. We're gonna handle this like women. Sit down." And she's like, "Men fight. We're gonna do this over a drink." And which it's also like, Grace, you really think you stood a chance against
I
Aunt
don't know.
Polly?
She stands up for herself. And
She
she's
stands
like-
up for herself.
She says something about, I know how to fight dirty too. Or
Yes,
something
and that was when Aunt Paul was like, "Sit down, child. Pour me some whiskey, and we're gonna talk
like
about
that.
this."
True.
Which, after that, then she goes to leave. Grace goes to leave this situation, and Aunt Paul was like, "You'll never." Like, she's like, "You've got Tommy fooled, but
Yeah.
I will never let this fly."
Yeah.
And at that point, we had forgotten like the whole course of their relationship. I thought that Grace just left and she was gone, because then after that
Yeah,
she goes
That's
to
what I thought too.
yeah.
She's
Good.
gone for the majority of the second season.
Yes, but
Yeah,
she,
the whole-
because well, no, because at the end of the second season is
Yes.
yeah. But what happens is Grace loves Tommy, and Tommy loves Grace, but he also has duty to his family.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Tommy, just come with me. Let's go to New York, and we'll get on a ship, and we'll sail away from here, whatever." And as much as he loves her,
contemplates it.
yeah, he does, but he has duty to family. And so she goes to get on the train, and it's in that moment when Mr. Campbell,
Points a gun at her,
yep,
and she turns around and shoots him.
yep, through her purse gun, and she leaves,
Yeah.
and then she goes to New York, to somewhere called Poughkeepsie.
Is it more of a purse or more of a gun?
It's a gun purse, I would say.
Gun purse. No, I think it's a purse gun. I think purse gun is more accurate.
No, you're
'Cause
right.
It's a gun
Yes.
that fits in a purse.
Yes, you are right. It's a purse gun.
Here's my purse gun.
Yeah. Yes.
My gun purse.
And she shoots him with her purse gun.
Gun purse. Man, of all the things we should sit and dissect,
Yes.
I think
is it a
that's
purse gun or
number
a gun
one.
purse? She probably uses it as a purse as well as a place for her gun, therefore making it a purse gun.
Yeah. I wonder if she has other things in there.
Probably.
Probably.
It would be a gun purse if she only used it for her gun, but if she uses it as a purse first, then it's a
She's
purse
got
gun.
like a little snack in there.
Yeah.
Like a granola bar. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Get out of the way, my granola bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, receipts from
Yeah.
everywhere she's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pile of crumpled receipts and a gum wrapper.
And some makeup. A gum wrapper, makeup. I bet, no, I think she has nicotine gum.
You think so? You think she's trying to get off the sauce?
She's trying to get off the sauce,
Yeah, all right.
She's having a really hard time. She's
Yeah.
been through a lot, Grace.
She has.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need a bump.
Hey, Love Story listeners, it's Ashley, and I have a very important confession to make. I recently did something extremely dangerous. I bought my fiance's wedding ring online. But before you judge me, I bought it from Modern Gents, and honestly, I feel kind of like a genius. Wedding planning is expensive. Like, why is this napkin $14 expensive? So when I found Modern Gents, which makes gorgeous handcrafted wedding and engagement rings that look luxury but don't cost we need a second mortgage money, I was sold. They use conflict-free stones, have tons of styles, inclusive sizing, free and fast shipping, easy returns, and a lifetime warranty, which is great because if my fiance loses his ring, I would like to replace the ring and not the fiance. The ring looks amazing, like suspiciously amazing for the price, and Modern Gents has over 1 million happy customers. So I'm clearly not the only one making elite financial decisions over here. So if you're engaged, getting engaged, or just emotionally preparing for how expensive weddings are, go check them out. Head to moderngents.com using the link in the show notes below for a special discount and find your perfect ring.
So anyway, she leaves. She goes to New York. She goes off to New York, and Tommy goes off to just living his life. So it goes 2 years later, when 2 years after all of this has gone down, she is in Poughkeepsie, and Tommy is running the family business, and they're trying to get more legit. Is this when did we meet Michael at the end of season 1 or during season 2? Aunt Paul's son.
I think
it's right away in season 2.
it is season 1. Towards the end of season 1, he goes to the house, and Paul is like, "Tell me where he is."
Yes.
And I love that scene because Paul
yeah.
points a gun at him, and he's like, "Tell me where," and he says, "This is why I can't tell you where he is."
Right.
Because you're.
I think you're right. It is season.
And then in season 2, he comes to stay with her because she has the house at that point.
Yes.
So it is season 2.
You are correct. So then, so we've got new characters coming in season 2. Yep. It's 2 years later. We meet Michael, who is Aunt Polly's son. And
season 2 is also where we meet Tom Hardy.
Oh, yes. Well, Alfie Solomons.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of double crossing going on there. We've got the Italian, Mr. Sabini. And
I could never do his. He got like a list.
He does a little. Yes, he does. This causes this fight with.
Sorry to interrupt, but what is the horse guy's name? The horse racing guy? Billy Kimber. Billy Kimber's dead.
Yes.
So they take over his stuff.
Yeah, and the level 2 boss is Sabini.
That boss, that final boss, is beat in that level. In that season. And then so season 2, we have Sabini and Alfie.
Yes.
So they're moving. The Peaky Blinders are moving part of their operations to London.
Yes, and they're trying to get more legit with the Derby.
The Derby.
Right.
Horse Derby.
Yes, and so what happens here is we're following Tommy through his horse. He's acquiring a horse, and that's where we meet May.
She'd follow Tommy
anywhere. She's in love with the boy. That was Grace is in love with the boy, and May steps in because May is the horse trainer.
I like May. I like her.
Do you think Tommy and May would have had May was a widow. Her husband died in the war.
Yep.
And she's got this big house, and she's just a lonely widow who raises horses. She's put all of her love into horses.
And so Tommy goes to buy a horse for the Derby.
Yes.
And she they get into a bidding war over this horse.
A filly.
It's a nice one. Mm-hmm. And
she offers to train it for him.
Yep. Which he accepts.
Yeah.
And then at first he's very
still hung up on Grace.
Yeah. And he's very because Grace has sent a couple letters at this point.
And he has lit them on fire.
Yes, he burned them. And then he ends up having relations with what's her name?
May.
The horse trainer.
May is into it. She's a posh girl.
See, but I think she's into it, but I don't think she's naive or blindly into it, which is what I like about her.
Right.
She's very confident. And she's like, I know what this is. If you're not completely into me, whatever. I don't need.
But she's still she's.
I don't need your love.
Right. She came at Tommy the way Campbell came at Grace, where it was like, we don't need this for love. It's just companionship, and it's just and for the love of horses, essentially. Yeah. Do you think that May ever stood a chance?
Yes, I do.
When? What is your evidence to back that up?
My evidence to back that up, I will tell you. Exhibit A, I think when they are by the horse trough. Trough?
Horse trough?
Trough. Yeah, trough. Anyways, I think that's when, and there's goldfish in it.
Yes.
And
because Tommy had told her.
He's honest. Yeah.
Yes.
There's another.
Yes. So, yeah, because she is like, I thought you'd be excited. I don't think she stood a chance because, which at this point had he read a letter? No, she called. They had gone.
She was back in the picture.
To London. Yes. So Grace had gone off to, do you want to catch us up on what Grace has been up to in the last 2 years?
She's went and got married to a wealthy guy, and they're trying to get pregnant, and the doctors all think it's her fault, but she doesn't think it's her fault. And I want to go back to the question about if May stood a chance.
Okay.
Because she stood a chance if Grace would have stuck with what she said. She said she was going to sail away. She said she was going to go. So, yeah, I think if Grace went away, she did stay. I think May stood a chance. Yes.
Now, remind me, because Grace came back to town because they're trying to get pregnant, and they said that there's
a doctor with some new technology.
In London.
Yeah.
And so they came back to London to go check it out and to do all of the, checks and balances of their innards. And
first time I've ever heard those.
Checks and balances of your innards.
Yeah.
So she had reached out to Tommy. She had sent him a couple of letters, and she called him. And somewhere along the way, they had gotten in contact. And so she had said, I'm going to be at this hotel or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He went and picked her up. She was saying goodbye to her husband, that she was just going to go hang out with an old aunt and whatever, and she'll be back by midnight. And Tommy went off to meet Grace. He and Mr. Campbell had still been having beef at this point.
But before this had happened, May and Tommy had hooked up.
So this is after the hookup number 1. Then he and Grace see each other because he goes to pick her up and they go back to his place.
Then they hook up.
Well, so he had said, and I think this is, May stood a chance until Grace said what she said. Maybe May would have been just like a fine second. She would have been like a Martha to Rachel McAdams' character in The Notebook, where it would have been like, okay, we'll do this, whatever. They could have had a nice life together, raising horses and doing all of that. And she would have offered him an air of legitimacy, and he would have given her, just a companion, essentially, who cared about horses the same way she did. But when Grace shows up at Tommy's place, she comes in, and Tommy was like, basically, I loved that whole little exchange because this is the first time they'd seen each other in 2 years since he found out that she was an operative, and then she left and he was going to come with her, and then all of this goes on, and she comes walking in the door, and he was like, go ahead, grab a seat, Grace. And she was like, you can offer me anything to drink? And he was like, go for it, basically, go help yourself. And she's like, okay. She'd put a lot of energy into like prepping herself and looking really nice and whatever. And he's basically just like cold, like ice cold to her. And she gets up and she is like, would you like me to pour you something? And he was like, sure. And she was like, still whiskey? And he's like, yes. And so then she pours them 2 drinks and they go to sit down. They both have a drink. He's just it's evidence, exhibit A, B, and C on how Tommy Shelby is ice cold to Grace when she walks in the door.
Got it.
Yes. Say my 3 favorite words.
I love you.
Thank you. Okay. So now they're sitting in this room together, and she's basically like, what the frick frack, Tommy? Like, don't we have something here? And
what
he was
the
like,
heck?
yes. And she was like,
oh.
Because he was like, we were going to have this. He said, he's like listening to her talk
he
and
gives
whatever.
the rundown of like,
this is what tonight was going to go like.
This is what I was going to bed you, and
I was going to have you come in. We were going to have some drinks, some chatter. We were going to have a whiskey. Then we were going to go upstairs. We were going to sleep together, basically. And she was like, and why, what happened? And he said, I changed my mind. And then she said, so what kind of a girl do you think I am? You think you could just get me a whiskey and then I would go to bed with you? And he was like, well, I was accounting for 3 whiskeys, which I really liked that. I like the cheekiness of it and the back and forth of it, and the just like, you think I give a rip? I don't give a rip, Grace. And then she basically is like, I love you.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh.
Shoot.
That throws things off for me.
Yes, because at this point she's married to another man, and she said, we're trying for a baby. And she said, was it after they had slept together that she said?
After.
Yes, because you took that as like, whoa, I can't believe she
was just using him using his seed to see if the doctors were right. But it wasn't. That wasn't.
She said, but I love you and whatever. And he was like, okay. So then they go. And then once again, no, this was Mr. Campbell. He goes to Mr. Campbell and he said, guess who I had in my bed last night?
Liar.
Yes.
Liar. I love that part.
Yeah.
Like, darn it.
Yes. And then, because he still has a picture, Mr. Campbell still has Grace's picture in his wallet that he occasionally looks at.
Yeah, it's not weird at all.
Did you keep my picture in your wallet for 2 years?
Of course.
Good. So then, yeah, Mr.
Do you
Campbell
want to see it?
No.
Oh, no, I
don't.
forgot my wallet.
Yeah, shoot.
Darn it.
Exhibit A will have to wait. So they have this. At first, it was a little bit of like, I don't know that Tommy was necessarily getting with Grace because it gave him something to stick in the craw of Mr. Campbell. But
I think that's like the third reason.
yeah, it was
You know,
also
on
like,
the list of
yes,
priorities.
I love her. And yes, like,
I think
we'll
it's more about him loving her.
yes.
I do.
And I think May had stood a chance up until Grace said, I love you.
Okay.
And then it was like, then they go to meet after that. And she's like, look at the horse trough. There's goldfish in it. Like you said would be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, there's someone else.
Yeah.
And he tells her about Grace.
And she says, fine. That's all
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, and that's what I like about her character is she's not like, she's not naive. She's not blind, but she's like, I'm all right with being second, you know? I'm all right with being second best,
Right.
you know? But she doesn't do it in a way of like, I
Desperation.
want you so badly that I'm okay with
Right.
being second. She's like, fine, I know who I am.
Well,
I'm
especially because she had a husband who died. So it's like, I think in that situation, it's like, my life has not turned out the way that I had anticipated it would turn out. And I understand that. I think there is a level of, as someone who is not a widow, I think there is a level of like, it's kind of, I had read something the other day that was about grieving. And I had never really lost anybody, and I had always thought that I would be an absolute mess when my grandma died because I had never had anyone close to me die or anything like that. We didn't come from like a super tight-knit family or anything, so people died, and you're just like, oh, yeah, that's too bad for great Uncle Tony, whatever. But in a situation where like my grandma was like, I'll be a mess when my grandma dies, then she died, and it was like, you know, it's different when you seen it coming and she was 92 and she was sick and whatever. And am I glad that she did? Certainly not. But was I so torn up about it? Also no, because it's, you know, it's an understanding of this is what happened. But the thing that I had read was there are people who you basically, God, I don't remember what it was, but it was something to the effect of everyone is going to have to grieve something eventually.
Yeah.
And you will be mad when people stop saying their name, when people stop talking about them, it'll make you mad. When you lose someone, it'll make you angry when people stop saying their name and when people stop talking about them. And then one day you'll meet someone, you'll be talking to someone, and they will ask you, you'll be talking about loss, and they'll ask you what their name was. And she said, and those are the grievers, like the people who, once you finally understand what it's like to love and lose someone, essentially when like meets like, it's what was their name, you know? And just the act of saying their name or someone wanting to hear their name of someone that meant so much to you, that's a person who understands. And so I think for May, she lost her husband, and it's like, yep. And she is on a different plane of understanding. There's different types of loss, and there's the loss of a loved one, loss of a family member, and then loss of a husband or wife early on and whatever. And May is just, she's just different. I think you're right when you say that she's not desperate for Tommy's love. It's just, yeah, okay, you know, very chill understanding. And she asks Tommy about Grace. And then we have the big culmination of the Dobby. Do you want to talk about the Dobby?
That's true. We do have that. So this is when Tommy and the Blinders are gonna
overthrow Sabini. Sorry, go ahead.
Did you want to talk about it?
I just want to throw in Sabini
They're
every now and then.
gonna overthrow Sabini and take over legitimate race betting in London. Campbell's character is instructed to have Tommy assassinate a soldier.
Yes.
And so Tommy's whole thing is, I'm going to assassinate this guy at a place where Campbell doesn't have the chance to kill him afterwards.
Yes.
So that's going on at the Derby. Grace is at the Derby.
Because she shows up.
Because
she was going to sail away.
Yeah, she wants to go. She wants to rekindle things. And she finds out she's pregnant with Tommy's offspring.
Yes.
And so the Grace is there.
May is there.
Because
she trains and races
she
horses, so of
trains
course
the
she's
horse,
there.
but she also usually doesn't come up. She doesn't get dressed up and go to
Show part of it.
Yeah, the common area.
Yeah.
But she does, and so there's that. There's all that going on. The King George, right? It's King George.
Yep.
King George is there. There's some stuff that happens, and there's a distraction. So then Tommy has the chance to kill.
He gets Lizzie.
Yes.
So Lizzie was going to marry John, but
We
she
don't have
wouldn't.
to get into the backstory.
Well, no, I
She's
won't.
pretty insignificant.
But she is there, and so she was part of it. So she was a sex worker, and she was going to marry John, and Tommy was like, okay, but for one more for old time's sake before you marry John. And she had told John she was done sex working, and Tommy said one more time for old time's sake, and she was like, all right, fine. And he was like, and that's it. That's why I don't approve of this wedding. But then she comes to work for the Shelby company. So she doesn't marry John, but she still maintains a part in the company because he gives her legitimate business to work for the Shelby company. So she doesn't have to do sex work anymore. And he then taps her in to say, hey, can you seduce this soldier?
Tommy,
yes.
taps her in to participate at the Derby to seduce the soldier that Tommy is going to kill.
Yes.
She doesn't want to, and he's like, I will be there before anything starts.
Yep.
He drops the ball on that. The soldier gets very aggressive with her and assaults her before Tommy shows up because Grace shows up and Tommy has to deal with her before he can go and assassinate the soldier.
Yes.
He ends up being successful in the assassination. Campbell does indeed try to have him killed.
But we got to go talk about what Campbell did to Aunt Paul. Back to, so at one point, Michael, Polly's son, had gotten arrested.
Yep.
And Aunt Paul was like, this is her precious baby that she had been taken from her and then had been put into an adoptive home and then comes back to her. He was like maybe 1 or 2 when he had gotten adopted out, seized and adopted.
I think he's older than that because he says he remembers being taken.
Sure. Yes. And then he comes back to go participate in the Shelby family. No, I think you're making that up because he was 17 when Aunt Paul, so it was probably like 15 years or something had gone by. And so
But that wouldn't make sense because then a 2-year-old's not going to remember that.
You'd be surprised.
Like developmentally, you don't have memories at that
Maybe
point.
10. Okay, maybe 10 years go by. 10 to 15.
Are we fighting?
You were right. Of course we are. We got to wrap this up though because we've got, which is fine because we're getting to kind of the
crickets.
End. Yeah. So anyway, Campbell, Aunt Paul, her son Michael had been put in jail through some like Tommy Shelby family kind of stuff. And Aunt Paul goes to Campbell and she's like, we got to get him out. He's too, basically like, I don't want him in this life. And so Campbell is like, well, there's one way to get him out, one guaranteed way to get him out. And so
he assaults her.
Yes.
To get him out of prison.
Yes. And so then he approaches her, so Campbell is now, they're all at the Derby together, the Derby. They're all at the Derby together, and all of this is all going down, and this like it's very chaotic, and like the way that like all of these pieces are coming together. We've got Grace shows up, we've got May who's like, but I brought a dress just in case, and he's like, yeah, put on your dress. Tommy is like, yeah, put on your dress and come up, and she's like, okay, maybe I will, whatever, even though I understand that like I'm your second choice. And then you've got Mr. Campbell is there he's like trying to have a sneaky assassination on Tommy, and then you've got I
don't think so.
Well, he's still orchestrating.
No, because he talks before they even go to the Derby. He's talking to the 3 IRA guys.
Yes.
And says you guys are going to kill him.
Yes.
After.
Yes.
So
but,
he doesn't. He's not trying to sneakily assassinate Tommy.
Well, he's trying to sneakily assassinate Tommy, so Tommy thinks that he's going to be like that. Tommy has a false sense of security. Like he's not being like arrogant about the fact that like one of us is going to walk away from here. Tommy says that to Mr. Campbell, only one of us is going to walk out. And Mr. Campbell's like, little do you know. And so all of this stuff is going on. He's got Lizzie who's being assaulted by the soldier. He's got to go assassinate the soldier. And then there's other like shots are fired and there's distractions. And then we've got
They're all protecting the king.
Yes. And the Peaky Blinders have to come in and burn all of the licenses. And
all of Sabini's.
Yes.
Horse betting,
legitimate horse betting licenses. And May, she's instrumental in that, which is where, so then May and Grace have an encounter because they're both, after everything, the dust is kind of settling. Tommy has gotten taken by the 3 IRA members, and Grace comes up in her red dress, and
This is
May.
after the soldier has
Yep.
been assassinated.
And May comes up in her red dress looking for Tommy, and Grace is standing there looking for Tommy. Tommy told Grace, "I'll meet you after." And he also had told May previously, "Come up and I'll meet you after." And May sees Grace from across the room, and she goes walking over to her, and they have a conversation where she says, "I knew," and then Arthur confirmed it, basically, who she is. And Grace is kind of like stepping to May a little bit, like, "Who do you think you are?" And May, to your credit, like you had said, she's just plays it off cool as a cucumber, still thinking that she's like, "Yeah, but he needs me though, because what just happened here, what you don't know is that they burned all of the licenses, and they won't be able to get those licenses
I don't think
reinstated."
she says yeah, he needs me.
No, she doesn't say
She
it, but
doesn't
it's
do it. I don't think she does it like that either. I think she just does it where I'm going to help him out.
and letting Grace know where
Yeah.
she stands. Yeah, where May stands. Yes.
Yeah, she's just like, I have influence with the committee, and I'm gonna make sure
Yeah.
it works out for him.
Yeah. And she said, "I've heard about you, but you haven't heard about me. I wonder what that means." And then Grace is basically like, "Okay, bye, biatch," and then
Yeah.
goes off, because then Tommy had gotten captured and he was going to be assassinated. And they're standing on the edge of his shallow grave that the 3 IRA members had dug for him. And then the one guy,
The IRA guy shoots the other 2 IRA guys, and tells Tommy, "Get out of the hole. Mr. Churchill needs your services
Yeah.
at some point."
he has a job for you. He was giving his like final speech when he was like, "Let a man have a cigarette," and he's just standing there, and he was like, "I came so close." His little end monologue of season 2, I loved it, because he's standing there and he's just smoking a cigarette, and he was like, "And there was a woman." And it was just like, in the moment right before he's about to die, the only thing that he's thinking about at that point is like,
Yeah.
"I had a good run, I came so close, and damn it,
Yeah.
and there was a woman."
Yeah. Should we conclude it there, because that's the end of season 2,
Yeah.
and then because we're a little bit into season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about their relationship, Grace
Grace's?
and Tommy? Yeah.
Grace and Tommy. I think, I thought about it the other night. If you had knowingly screwed over my entire family, that would make things difficult.
Me right now, me the person sitting before you.
Yes, if you like made an entire plan to incriminate and lock up my entire family,
Before I loved you and before you loved me.
I think it would still cause some, you know what I mean? But you're you. So
Right. And
I
Grace
think-
is Grace.
yeah, grace is grace, and so ultimately it might cause a few
Raised
arguments.
eyebrows. Yeah.
Yeah. you
Yeah.
know? But I like their love. I like the way they, you can just tell it's different. It's he sees her different, she sees him differently, and than anybody else. So I do like their love. I don't know that it's set up for longevity
Right.
because of what happens to her, but
Well, and also, if we take all of that aside, and you take aside the fact that people just dropped out of dysentery in,
Yeah.
the early 19th century,
Yeah.
do we think that they have what it takes? Are they building a relationship on love and trust?
I think so.
I think, yes, but I think the lifestyle would eventually pull them apart.
And
I
that's
think,
what I was gonna say, is that like Tommy is so gangster and so cutthroat.
yeah.
But to Grace's credit, I think she's okay. I know what you do.
Yes, and also, I mean, John and Esme are married, and
Yeah.
while they got married under the circumstances of like an arranged marriage, they have.
I think they're crazy about each other.
Yeah.
I like that.
But John still, like, there was a scene where John, like, they were walking into that, like, not like a speakeasy, but it was like a club or whatever.
Yeah.
When they first pissed off Sabini's men, and he had grabbed a woman and like made out with her for a second or whatever.
Yeah.
And the time.
Yeah. That causes problems. for
Yes.
sure,
And
for sure.
and the time that everything is set in. Grace
But
is
then
expected
Tommy's
to
not
be.
interested in any of that sort of stuff. you
I
know?
guess we don't have an opportunity to see how their relationship would
It's-
develop. There aren't any long-term relationships in the show because Aunt Paul's husband is dead. Their mom and dad is an asshole, and their mom is dead. There really isn't anyone who's been in a long-term relationship.
Esme and John are the longest.
And they're
relationship.
together because I think John's wife died.
No. Oh yes, she did. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She did, and he's
left him
like,
with a
I need a
pile of
wife
kids.
because I have too many kids.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, so really it is kind of a like relationships were just like, okay, it's you love, you live, you die, and you move on to the next one or you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see how this all turns out for Tommy and Grace Shelby.
Me too. Who knows what's going to happen? Well, we'll find out on the next episode.
And now we'll have to do more real homework and stop getting caught up in the Peaky Blinders.
Yes.
But
yes.
it is a good
Well, now we have to stick with it, don't we?
Well, if there's more love to talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's all. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Should we shout out to one of our...
A wedding vendor?
A wedding vendor?
Sure. Which one do you want to shout out? Do we shout out DJ Black? Oh, we could shout out DJ Black.
Yeah.
Old Chaz James, who's also a
Realtor.
sponsor. Yeah, realtor and sponsor of the show. But he's a DJ extraordinaire.
Man of many talents.
Yes. Yeah. So there you go. Thanks for being at the show, and thanks for, I mean, truly, he was the runway man.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
Chat soon.
All right.
All right, then.
Peeps be with you.
And now a word from our sponsor, Chaz James from Premier Real Estate Services.
If you understand where you want to live or why you want to live where, the process actually isn't that difficult. The emotional bits and pieces of buying a home is where people get into trouble. So, if you are like a first-time home buyer, when we put that first offer in, you're excited. You're stoked. And I am so excited to be your hype man in that process. Right. It's unreal. But I also need to bring you down a level because we're not the only people in the room trying to help you get there. So that's the beginning process, is finding someone that you're comfortable with, someone that has no fear into taking you into the world that is real estate. You can buy a home in so many different ways.
Hello world, I'm Chaz James with Premier Real Estate, Minnesota's favorite West Indian realtor. I want to be your real estate hype man.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Love Story Podcast.
Be sure to leave us a rating and review and subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes.